he headed it onto Holding and then went in the net. That was really his goal, let's be completely honest about it. But Everton have played particularly well in the Premier League. They had a little wobble in the Cup on Wednesday night, but in the Premier League, I mean, this is a very good run, isn't it? You know, four wins in a row. I was going to say 4 clean sheets, and it was almost 4 clean sheets. It's 3 clean sheets and a penalty they conceded against Arsenal, which was because Tom Davies wasn't looking where he was kicking. They haven't conceded a goal from open play for quite some while, have they, Crook?
No, and that's remarkable when you look at the injuries they've had defensively. I think we have to credit Jordan Pickford, who's taken a fair amount of flack, actually, in 2020. He is getting back to somewhere near his best, but we've spoken a lot about Manchester City and the chances that they create and the fact that it's not that they're not carving teams open. They're just perhaps not as ruthless as they have been in the past, but somebody is going to be on the end of a hiding. And I'm still worried about Everton's squad depth and the players that are out, that actually if Manchester City score early, they could go there and win quite handsomely. I fancy City to win this game.
TalkSport exclusives on TalkSport 2 with 888 Sport. Play responsibly, within your limits. Safer, better, together. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
We're facing the biggest health challenge of our generation. And we've shown that together we're stronger than ever. But to keep making a difference, we need to support each other. If you're a man and you've had coronavirus recently, then you might just have the antibodies to help save lives in your blood plasma. That's why we urgently need men to donate. Giving blood plasma is safe and easy. Be the difference. Search Donate Plasma or call 0300 123 2323 today.
There once was a woman who craved Kentucky Fried Chicken. She wanted it so much, but her sofa was so comfy and her house was so cozy. Luckily, she'd just heard on the radio that KFC deliver. So she ordered chicken to that very sofa. The end. Participating restaurants only.
Live today. Amazon delivers you. Crystal Palace v Leicester. Coverage starts at 2 p.m. Chelsea v Aston Villa. Coverage starts at 5 p.m.
Abraham.
And Everton v Man City. Coverage starts at 7:30 p.m.
Riyad Mahrez.
The Premier League. Live and exclusive.
Beautiful.
On Amazon Prime Video.
Stuck for trade supplies over the festive period? At TradePoint, we're open and here to help. So whether it's topping up on essentials or getting timber cut to size, that's one less thing for you to worry about. Shop in store or at tradepoint.co.uk. Stores close Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Opening hours may vary by region. Check with your local store.
Impress your friends and seriously irritate your competitors with a hard-working, cost-effective custom ad campaign on TalkSport. Find out what we can do for you at advertiseontalksport.com.
Calling all small business owners. The clock is ticking and we're not going into extra time. On the 1st of January 2021, the Brexit transition period will have ended. If you own or operate a small business, this means following new business rules on exports, imports and more. And if you move goods into, out of or through Northern Ireland, you should check what you need to do to prepare. Be ready for business. Use the Brexit Checker tool to find out what your business needs to do. Go to gov.uk/transition. TalkSport Traffic and Travel. With Swinton Insurance Home Emergency Cover, you can relax this winter. If your heating breaks down, we've got it covered. Visit swinton.co.uk.
The A1 in the Scottish borders is closed in both directions south of Grant's House along the stretch between Berwick-upon-Tweed and Dunbar after an accident. A lorry's overturned there. There are delays as a result. On the M56 in Cheshire, there's a lane block westbound by an accident between junctions 7 and 9 towards the M6 causing delays. On the M5 in Worcestershire, there's a lane blocked southbound by an accident in the snow between junctions 4 and 4A towards the M42. And in Hampshire, the A27 is closed along Mansbridge Road in Southampton because of flooding. I'm Russell Holding.
Hi there, small business owner. Your tiny hard-nosed QuickBooks team here.
We know you've got better stuff to do than looking after your tax, invoicing, payroll, mileage tracking.
And everything else. So let us take care of it. That's right. We're an entire business department, taking care of the finance stuff. 27 hours a day, 8 days a week.
So you can lose the stress and focus on being the best at what you do.
We got your back, boss!
Sign up now at quickbooks.co.uk.
Taking care of finance stuff, into it, QuickBooks!
on DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app, and on your smart speaker. This is TalkSport 2 Today.
And now Eze into the box, driving through. Zaha for 4. He's got a second in the afternoon, and that surely is that. And Crystal Palace will take all 3 points back to South London, and Wilfried Zaha has a brace.
Perez round the back, low cross into the centre. Vardy, oh, what a finish! What a finish! What an equaliser from Jamie Vardy. The first goal he's ever scored on Boxing Day, and what an important goal that is going to be for Leicester City.
Okay, Crystal Palace against Leicester is on at 3 o'clock on Talk Sport as we bring you loads of games back to back to back this Bank Holiday Monday. Obviously, I mean, Leicester is so good away from home that Roy Hodgson will be having nightmares, won't he? Because he's thinking I was conceded 7 goals against Liverpool, 3 against Aston Villa, who had 10 men, and now Jamie Vardy's coming. Cheers.
It could get a lot worse for Roy Hodgson before it gets better. I quite enjoyed watching Leicester at the weekend. I thought it was a good game. Yes, Manchester United probably should have won with the chances they missed, but Leicester were brave in contrast to what we said about Tottenham. They wanted to take the game to United. Jamie Vardy it just gets better every week, which is incredible when you think he's at the veteran stage of his career, and he will fancy his chances big time against a Crystal Palace defence that must be low on confidence right now.
Just a bit. 9 of Jamie Vardy's 11 goals so far this season have been scored in away matches, 12 goals. So he could well be on the score sheet again. The Eagles have only scored 2 first half goals in their last 7 matches. I don't know. I just think, at home as well, I think they've lost 6 of their last 11 since lockdown at home at Crystal Palace.
Missing the ultras.
I think they'll probably be delighted at the fact that the fans have not been able to come back in for this Christmas period, I think, because I think it might have been a little bit, those ultras might well have been quite vocal. So that's at 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon. Let's spool forward to Tuesday. We have Brighton versus Arsenal, West Brom versus Leeds, Southampton versus West Ham, Burnley versus Sheffield United. Don't worry about that one. Which one are you doing, Crook?
I am at Southampton against West Ham.
And that's live on the app, isn't it?
That's live on the app, 6 o'clock kickoff. Again, big game for Southampton with the injuries to try and get back to winning ways. But equally, West Ham are going to have to play a lot better than they did against Brighton. I can see some goals in this game. A score draw, possibly 2-2.
I was being a bit rude about Burnley, Sheffield United. I'm only joking. It's just because, it's not...
Hey, listen,
it might not be 6.
Burnley,
yeah?
I think Burnley were exceptional today against Leeds.
Exceptional is a big word, isn't it? I mean...
I do, honestly. I think they've got a great midfield. I'm not just saying this. Some of the football they played today was superb. And they just didn't get that little rub of the green in front of goal, but they were probing down one side. They had great movement, rotation in midfield, going down the other. I thought they were excellent.
They've scored 8 goals all season, Trevor.
I know, but they've had Barnes missing. He's back now. They're going to start scoring for fun.
Okay.
And they've had midfielders missing.
All right, okay. So maybe that is one you should tune into on the TalkSport app. Burnley versus Sheffield United. Loads of goals from Burnley, and Sheffield United probably not. West Brom against Leeds. Interesting fixture. Big Sam trying to outthink Bielsa. That one, I think, certainly will get a lot of attention actually on Tuesday. Brighton versus Arsenal will, because Arsenal have got to back up their victory over Chelsea with a victory away down at the Amex Stadium, where Brighton, they do not win, do they? I mean, I can't remember that. I don't think Brighton fans can remember the last time that their team won at home.
Might have even been that Arsenal game after lockdown, was it?
Probably was, yeah. That was the last time they won at home. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying off the top of my head. I
don't think they've won too many since then, but there'll be a bit of neither, won't they? Because that game had an ugly finish, if you remember, with Guendouzi going around the pitch, reminding Brighton players that he is substantially richer than them. But I think you're right.
He's now in Germany now, isn't he? Yeah.
What a numpty.
But I think this will be a tester of whether this was a freak result, the win against Chelsea, or if they're genuinely going to turn a corner now. And again, the team sheet, when it gets handed in, is going to be fascinating.
Yes, the last win at home in the Premier League was against Arsenal, that 2-1 victory on the 20th of June 2020. Look at that. That's what you're here for, Crook. Thank you very much. Trevor and I will be at Manchester United versus Wolves, 8 o'clock kickoff, the only 8 o'clock kickoff on Tuesday. And I'm looking forward to this because I think Wolves are so good towards the end of games. You never know what the result is going to be in a match against Wolverhampton Wanderers, do you, until the full-time whistle was gone? Because their second half performances are just so much better than their first.
Yeah, they need to find a way to start better. I think being quite blunt, because they're always, a lot of the time, they're giving themselves a mountain to climb. But again, you have to say great spirit, good fitness levels. You know, we said at the start of the season, because of the short pre-season and gap between last season and this season, the teams with the best sports scientists and fitness coaches will probably do better in their performances and results. And I think Wolves must have a really good sports science department. But for me, this was Manchester United all day long. I think Varney's going to play. I think he's shown his quality when he came on against Leicester. And I just think they'll have too much for him. And especially because, like we said, they're in a little bit of transition wars and they're missing their talisman, Raúl Jimenez, which I hope's okay. He was at the game against Spurs watching, which is great to see, but I'm not sure how long it's going to be until that young man gets back playing football.
Absolutely. We do wish him the very best. Yeah, it's Newcastle, Liverpool and Tottenham, Fulham on Wednesday night. Trev, we're going to Newcastle, aren't we, together? In fact, so we're doing, how many games are we doing together over this Christmas period? Are you doing the Manchester United, Manchester City semi-final with me as well?
Yes.
Yes. Should we just move in together? Come on. Let's just get it over.
Now that would be a good documentary.
Do you know what? Right, we've been doing these 5K runs over the course of December, haven't we, Trev? And he regularly calls me a tortoise. Not necessarily sure how that would work. Newcastle versus Liverpool is an 8 o'clock game. I mean, if you're Steve Bruce, are you just hoping that it isn't any more than 4, Trevor?
Oh, you know what? I mean,
or do you follow the playbook of Big Sam?
No, I think he's got to play that way, else they'll get taken apart. If they go toe to toe with Liverpool, it could be a cricket score. So I think Steve Bruce has not got a choice, but he has to play parking the bus. He has to play that technique. And
is Brucey sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, cheers, Sam! Thank you very much for poking the beast."
Yeah, I think so, because the fans are not having him. And I think you look at the points that they've earned this season, and they're in a decent position in the league. And the fans are still not having him. And I know they've not played the most attractive football, and you know there's calls for that Rafa did a better job, and this play is not good enough. And I think they've recruited quite well. I feel it's really competitive this season. You look at the teams that are around them. I think they're doing okay, but the fans want that kind of 1995 style of football, and it's just not realistic.
To be honest with you, I mean, we've had this debate a lot, and we've been charged with watching them in detail to make up our own minds, and none of us want to have to do that again. So when you've been there on Wednesday night at St James's Park, I'll ask you again whether or not you enjoyed yourself. I mean, you probably will do watching Liverpool, but Newcastle, I watched them against Brentford the other day, and it was bad. It was really bad. And I think because they've invested in Fraser and Wilson, they were expecting a better brand of football, and they haven't quite got it. Do you go for this sort of COVID thing, as in like it's had a major effect and it is stopping some of their better athletes from performing?
Yeah, it's got to come into it. You know, I think they've almost missed games, or they have missed games because the COVID outbreak's been quite harsh in Newcastle and the North East and within their squad. But I think when you're missing real mavericks of your team that bring a spark to the team, like St. Maxim, I think he's an exceptional talent. And I know he blows hot and cold. Most creative players do. But when he's hot, he's very, very good. And I think they've missed him. Almiron, I'm a fan of his. I think I'd like to see him play more because at times he's benched. But again, it's a balancing act. They've got a lot of games, the fixtures, and they've not got the most talented depth of squad. So, you have to play the players where you feel you get points. And it's a difficult juggling for Steve Bruce, because the fans are not having him, and it's clear. I'm not sure how he's going to turn it around unless he's being given a load of money in January to bring new recruitments in, and then maybe he'll be able to play a little bit more expansive football.
Tottenham Fulham is on before that on TalkSport, and Fulham have got a habit of conceding early goals. If that's the case, Scott Parker will be isolating because somebody in his family has come into contact with COVID-19. What do you expect from this game, Crook?
I would expect Tottenham to take an early lead, sit back on it, and then see if Fulham are good enough to earn a point. Now, I'd like to think that Jose would have learnt his lesson from this Wolves game. Fulham are clearly a team that if Tottenham play to their full potential, play on the front foot, they can beat. And I think if he does adopt a negative approach, I'm just scrolling through social media there will be a lot of very angry Tottenham fans come the end of the game.
Looking forward to it. Newcastle versus Liverpool with Trevor and I on Wednesday night after the Tottenham Fulham game. Tuesday night, Wolves Manchester United with Trevor and I. Monday night, he's left me with Danny Mills. On my sheet, it did say Trevor, but Danny Mills is coming instead. What were you just having a day off, relaxing? Too tiring for you to do 3 in a row?
Just the white flag came up.
Oh, right, okay.
I just said, give me a day.
Right, that's it from us. We'll be back on New Year's Eve to preview all the action for the weekend with Darren Lewis and Alex Crook. Remember to download the TalkSport app. Not only can you get a hold of the Game Day podcast there, but also you'll be able to get access to all 10 of this week's round of Premier League matches.
TalkSport exclusives on TalkSport 2 with 888 Sport. Play responsibly, within your limits. Safer, better, together. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
The Vodafone Big Winter Sale is now on. Save £242 on the Google Pixel 5 5G. Now only £38 per month plus £29 up front with 6 gigabytes of data. Switch to the UK's best network as voted by readers of trusted reviews. Ready? Vodafone.
CPI plus 3.9% increase each April, ends 7th of January. Minimum term agreement, credit check and terms apply. 5G subject to coverage. Saving info and award verification at vodafone.co.uk.
Rockstar Games presents the biggest and most action-packed update to Grand Theft Auto Online yet. The Cayo Perico Heist. Infiltrate the remote tropical island of Cayo Perico in an all-new adventure for 1 to 4 players. Featuring an array of exciting new vehicles and weapons, a brand new nightclub with world-class DJs, new radio stations, and much more. Access to the Cayo Perico Heist is free with every copy of Grand Theft Auto 5. Play now on PlayStation 4 and via backward compatibility on PlayStation 5. Rated PEGI 18.
At Ring, we've reinvented the doorbell. So no matter where you are, you can watch over your home and the things you care about. Ring Video Doorbell streams HD video and two-way talk straight to your phone, so you can speak to whoever's at your door from anywhere.
Delivery.
Oh, great. Can you leave it round the back, please?
Sure, no problem.
See, hear and speak to whoever's at your door from wherever you are with a Ring Video Doorbell. For great festive savings on selected devices, go to ring.com and major retailers today.
Amazon Prime Video delivers the Premier League this December. Nobody brings you closer to the action and the passion of the Premier League with live and exclusive matches. Plus, keep your head in the game with kick-by-kick live commentary and expert post-match analysis from Amazon's dream team of pundits and presenters. Watch the Premier League live and exclusive this December on Amazon Prime Video, including Newcastle versus Liverpool, Everton versus Man City, and Manchester United versus Wolves. Prime subscription required.
Are you good to go with Sale at Argos? Brighten up your January with great offers on a variety of products. Go online to shop our full range of deals. With Argos, you're good to go. Sale ends 21st of January. Selected lines, conditions apply. Subject to availability.
A very good morning, this is TalkSport 2. Not long to go now until more action from round 3 of the World Darts Championship from midday. The Grand Slam of Darts champion Jose de Sousa, he kicked us off this afternoon as he takes on the veteran Mervyn King. But now it's After the Lights Go Out. It's presented by Steve Harmison and Leon McKenzie. The programme focuses on the struggles of professional athletes following their retirement from sport, and the next instalment features a man who made his Football League debut at the age of 15, Matthew Etherington.
Hi there, small business owner. Your tiny hard-nosed QuickBooks team here.
We know you've got better stuff to do than looking after your tax, invoicing, payroll, mileage tracking,
and everything else. So let us take care of it. That's right. We're an entire business department, taking care of the finance stuff. 27 hours a day, 8 days a week.
So you can lose the stress and focus on being the best at what you do.
We got your back, boss!
Sign up now at quickbooks.co.uk.
Taking care of finance stuff into it, QuickBooks.
On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app, and on your smart speaker. This is a TalkSport exclusive on TalkSport 2.
On DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. After the lights go out on TalkSport.
I'm Leon McKenzie. I've experienced life as both a Premier League footballer and a professional boxer.
And I'm Steve Harmison. I represented England in 63 tests and 58 one-day internationals and won the Ashes twice with my country. In this series, we're focusing on elite athletes and their transition from professional sport to civilian life.
We both enjoyed the highs and lows unique to professional sport, a vocation which can lead to adulation and riches beyond the means of the vast majority of people.
However, we also struggled with what followed when our respective careers came to an end. With the roar of the crowd becoming a fading memory and the adrenaline-fueled lifestyle was no more. Tonight on TalkSport, we're joined by a man who made his professional football debut at the age of 15 for Peterborough United. He went on to represent Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham United and Stoke City, Mr. Matthew Etherington.
Etherington. And Etherington struck it brilliantly. What a goal by Matthew Etherington. This is a lovely 1-2. Etherington. And Matthew Etherington scores his first goal of the season. Given away. Chance for Etherington. A phenomenal strike from Matty Etherington.
Well, Matthew will join us in a moment, but Leon, tonight's programme is going to be somewhat different to the others in the series, with the main theme addiction, more specific, gambling addiction.
Can't wait to listen to Matthew. I don't know anything about addiction as such from a gambling point of view, but I am very familiar with addiction in terms of what I used to do to make myself feel alive again and put myself in places where I felt lost and I just wanted to feel a little bit free within myself. Now, I've known Matt to be quite a quiet lad, so I'm just really looking forward to hearing him speak.
Yeah, the addiction side of it, coming from cricket, we didn't have as much, and I think a lot of it comes down to the financial ramifications you get in the sport you're playing, and I think that in football was, especially at Premier League level, was quite huge. And in the era that Matthew played in, there was a lot of people who talked about addictions. There was a lot of alcoholism involved. You can think of the high profile ones of the likes of Tony Adams and Paul Merson, but gambling was in football. You played in the Premier League, Leon, and there was a lot of gambling in that era.
Correct, yeah. I mean, like I say, there was gambling that was going on when I was playing, for sure. But to the extent of where Matthew ended up, that is what I want to hear about today, and I want to hear his story and how he's turning his life around. Well, let's welcome tonight's guest on After the Lights Go Out. It's a very good evening to my former teammate, Matthew Etherington. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate. Very good.
How you doing, Matthew?
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Very, very well.
Good.
Great to have you on. A little bit different to when we was playing. I remember when you was a shining kid coming through, and what a talent you were. Matthew, after your career came to an end, you announced your retirement in 2014.
Yeah.
What was your decision around that, and why? And how was your emotions dealing with retiring? Because when I had to retire, I wasn't ready for it. Emotionally, just totally feared the fact of what I'm going to do next. How did you feel?
Pretty similar, if I'm being honest with you. It was a very spontaneous decision, one that my wife didn't agree with, and in hindsight, she was 100% right. I was really struggling with my back. I'd been at Stoke for 5.5 years and felt like I'd given a lot to the club. They'd given a lot to me as well, but I felt a kind of rejection that they didn't want to extend my contract. And then I went in at West Ham under Sam Allardyce and did really well for a week or two, but my back was a big problem for me, and that flared up again, and went to Millwall for a day. You could hardly get out of the car on the way home from training, So I decided to call it a day because one, I think I was not used to rejection, whether it be from West Ham or Millwall not seeing me at my best or Stoke City not renewing my contract. And two, I was angry at my body probably for giving up on me a little bit. And I thought, right, that's it, I'm done. Whereas my wife was going, well, don't make any hasty decisions here. Let's just give it a bit of time. You can easily play like League One, League Two, still earn a living, and then we can plan for the future. I'm one of them people that makes good, rightly or wrongly, spontaneous decisions from time to time. I like to think I'm a little bit better now as I'm getting older, but I just thought, no, I'm done with it. And I wasn't ready, nowhere near ready to retire from football.
When my body was breaking down, it's like your body's saying, can't do this no more, and your mind is really trying. I totally feel and empathise with you when your back's going, because you was actually offered a new deal by Ian Holloway, wasn't you?
Yeah, we were in talks, but I literally went for training for one day and I'd had
just
enough.
1 day?
Yeah, I was on the way. It was a hard session. I'd been keeping myself in shape, and it was a long drive from where I lived in Hertfordshire to South London, and on the way home I tried to get out of the car after this tough session that we'd done on the first day at Millwall, and I had to literally peel myself out of the car. My back was in pieces, and also I thought to myself as well, there's a large part of myself was going, do you need to be going through this pain like I have been for the last 2, 3, 4 years? So there was that side of it as well. It was just getting me down in general.
Matty, I can relate to that because the thing that hit me was my hamstring, but my back was the one that plagued me for